On this episode of Brands That Travel, we're talking about immersive technology and ways that destinations can be thinking about it for their advertising efforts. I'm here today with Kelly Fraley-Cavado from Facebook, Nick Matera from Las Vegas CVA, and Tracy Lanza from Brand USA. We're live at DMAI in Minneapolis, Minnesota for this episode of Brands That Travel. "92% of travelers have a Facebook profile. So that's huge, and that's obviously a really great opportunity for us as advertisers. Tell us a little bit about how Facebook sees this as an opportunity and why destinations specifically should be thinking about Facebook and Instagram for their advertising.
Today, Facebook and Instagram are 1 out of every 5 minutes on a mobile phone globally. So back to your stat, about 92% of people who are active travelers on the platform, I think it's not just that they're on there, it's how much time they're spending. So as a marketer, your ability to reach them with the right message, no matter where they are, whether they're in the grocery store checkout line, watching TV at home with the family, or traveling on a trip, your opportunity to reach people with the right message at the right time is really important. And what we see on our side through eMarketer research is that over 73% of people are actually going to research a trip on mobile in 2016. And over 51% of people who will book digitally will do so on a mobile device. So when we think about the opportunity for brands like all of you here in the room to reach travelers on Facebook and Instagram, it's through the full funnel of the experience, all the way from inspiration and getting someone to think about coming, which is really the role of a DMO or a CVB, all the way down to actually getting them to book. So we're really excited for the opportunity that is ahead for all of you.
I use the stat a lot. I think it's pretty astounding. 74% of all internet usage will be video by 2017, which just really blows my mind to think about. And so obviously that's an extremely big opportunity for us as advertisers. We need to be thinking about how we use this video content and what the opportunities are.
It's important, I think, for a lot of brands to remember that video on Facebook and Instagram actually auto-plays. You have 3 seconds to really capture people. When I'm on the news feed, I'm going as quickly as I can, just kind of trying to get my fix of the day and figure out what's happening. So thinking about video as a way to really grab people and pull them into the experience, I think is going to be incredibly important as we move forward.
I think, from Las Vegas's perspective, we know consumers are so much smarter than they've ever been. They need so much more information before they make a travel decision. So we've gone all in on video over the last year and a half. We've created 46 pieces of unique video content over the last 12 months, really hitting different verticals, different paths within the conversion cycle. So one great example that we have up here was a campaign around Vegas season, which was our summer What Happens Here Stays Here campaign about a year ago. And the creative execution here was essentially our Facebook creative was more in line with our TV creative. Consumers there, a higher branding message. On Instagram, we drilled it down and really focused on assets in the destination. The creative was more in line with what somebody would expect in the Instagram platform. So what we saw was great efficiencies across that. So 2-cent cost per view of that video content and a 24 lift in ad recall. So we were really able to have people look at our creative on Facebook, on Instagram, see that creative and really remember that Vegas was in their news feed both on Instagram and on Facebook, so it really helped us hit those metrics that we needed to hit with that campaign.
Tell us a little bit, Kelly, about how brands can also be leveraging their TV buys. And Nick touched on it a little bit, and obviously I've seen really great success. There's a lot of the brands that have leveraged that. And I know as destinations, not everyone has a TV budget, but ways that you can be kind of supplementing what you do with TV and how you can be more efficient and opportunities on Facebook.
Yeah. So we actually encourage a lot of brands to think about Facebook plus Instagram plus television. TV is not going anywhere. It's been around for a long time. And so brands are starting to think about how to merge those platforms. We are seeing companies actually mirroring their television buy on Facebook and Instagram and syncing their ads to run at the same time to have greater impact. And then other brands are actually using it to complement when their TV buy might be off. So they're filling in kind of the gap periods. And we're seeing some pretty amazing results when brands think about offline and online together. Both Coke and Cadbury are some examples that we have on Facebook for Business around results that they've seen in complementing television plus Facebook and Instagram. And we actually measured 42 campaigns last year through a partnership with Nielsen on Facebook. And we saw across all of those 42 campaigns, different verticals, different industries, a 19% incremental reach to television on average, leveraging Facebook and Instagram. Facebook really believes in the power of sight, sound, and motion and pulling people into an experience and deep storytelling. And I know that there are a lot of great brand minds here in the room who hopefully agree with me. So we recently rolled out a product called Canvas last year at the Cannes Lion Film Festival. And what it is really it's an answer to the microsite within the Facebook walls. So it shows up in the news feed almost like a regular link post, and then you click into the caret, and it opens up this entire experience that is almost a microsite within Facebook. And it allows brands to really tell a deeper and a richer story. You can see here with South Dakota that there's a lot of different images, video, carousel. You can actually leverage a lot of our ad products within this single unit. Each piece of the canvas is actually clickable off-site to a different URL. So if you are a co-op marketer for a destination, you might have a canvas ad of telling a deeper story of Las Vegas and then provide different click-offs to your partners, for example. So we're really excited about the potential of Canvas, either to just go deeper on your own story of your destination or to use it as a cooperative platform. And I know both Tracy and Nick are really thinking about how to use it moving forward and have done some kind of initial testing as well.
So 2016 is a year of test and learn for Brand USA. We are in between campaigns, we're developing a new one, we're rebuilding our website. And so we had this opportunity with all these new platforms to really take a shot at learning what works best, kind of ironing out the kinks from our own perspective so that we can then offer that up to partners, as Kelly mentioned, for co-op advertising. The other thing we focused on this year was adding a strategy of proximity to our campaign, which meant we are helping potential travelers stitch together the opportunities that they can have in the USA as a value proposition, meaning a trip to the United States will give you more bang for your peso, as it were, because you can do everything here. You can climb a mountain, you can go 4-star dining, you can see the Hollywood sign, you can then go to Vegas, you can go to a nightclub, you can go to a beach, you can do it all. So these Canvas ads are really ideal for us to be able to deliver that kind of storytelling, because as Kelly mentioned, it's got the carousel functionality of the multi-images, but it's also got the video capabilities to really give people that opportunity to dive really deep into the experiences that we want them to have in a disruptive way in the feed.
So, when I talked about video, I talked about us really understanding that consumers need so much more information before they travel. About a month ago, we launched VEVO, which is a new content hub for Las Vegas, where we house long-form blog-type content, 360 video, all of the different creative assets that we're developing in market. And we were looking for a way to really release that new platform for consumers, and we found Canvas to be a great platform to do so. Canvas really allows us to showcase 360 video, link off to the new VEVO platform, really get people interested in the content that's being developed for that site. So we launched that about a month ago. We reached about 9.1 million consumers with that first test that we put out. And the interesting thing that we found was there was about 41% completion rated from the time that they opened up that Canvas unit, getting down through the 3 to 4 different creative executions that existed within there. So consumers were very interested in that unit. It was a little bit different. It was probably one of the first times that they saw it, but I think just the immersiveness of it, the ability to have 360 video, panoramic images, and then a link off-site really helped us keep the consumer interested and make them feel like they're getting something valuable from that unit.
And I think what's also really exciting is these don't cost any more to run. It's not that this is more expensive to run than any other ad unit, right? So, obviously you have to build the execution, but besides that, as an advertiser, this isn't like a high cost of entry to really get into this really immersive opportunity.
I think this goes back to thinking about being thoughtful, the right message at the right time, and what do you want to serve to your customer. And yes, it probably requires some more production on the front end and thinking through what you're going to show them. But we've seen, as Nick stated, people are really spending a lot of time within Canvas. 41% of people actually going through the entire experience. It's a really neat and immersive way to keep them within, the app, which most people want to do these days, but to provide them richer experiences and to really transport them to your destination.
I know that there's a lot of talk in the industry around virtual reality. And what do we do there? And I know that Facebook has obviously taken interest in it with the investment in Oculus. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of what the vision is there with Facebook and where you guys see this as an opportunity?
Yeah, we are really invested in AR and VR, obviously with the acquisition of Oculus. And today, Oculus is really focused on the consumer experience. So we are focused on getting headsets in people's hands and having them experience, virtual reality with the phone technology within the headset. And so far, it's going extremely well. Today, Oculus is not really an advertising opportunity, but we are very excited about the capabilities that Facebook has rolled out, which is around 360 video. So I think we're going to learn a lot with 360 video and Facebook, and I'm sure that that's going to propel what we do for the future. But we're really excited about the technology that is available to brands today, which is 360 video on Facebook. When I think about CVBs and DMOs, I don't think there's a better way to put people in the experience other than 360. You literally can feel what it's like to go down the canals here in Italy and experience, the world virtually. So I don't think as many tourism businesses have taken advantage of this as I expected to, because I think, quite frankly, it's a little bit scary from a production standpoint. But I don't think it needs to be. I think it's a little bit easier than people anticipate, and I would encourage a lot of tourism boards to move forward and test this out. And I know that Nick and Las Vegas has really been a forward mover when it comes to 360 video, and they've had a lot of great success. So maybe he can share some of his thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, from a destination marketing perspective, 360 video and virtual reality is something we've been excited about now for about 5 months. We launched our virtual reality experience in March at South by Southwest and ITB, which is a major travel show in Berlin, in Germany. And today we have 24 pieces of 360 video content that live in the Vegas VR app. And we were taking this around the world with us to different trade shows in Korea and Italy and the United Kingdom to really get people to feel what Las Vegas has to offer. Because I think unlike, like many destinations, travel is such an immersive experience. There's feelings associated with it, and 360 video really allows you to transport consumers into your destination, into Las Vegas, put them on a helicopter ride over the Las Vegas Strip. So when they're thinking about traveling, they say they have to go to the Grand Canyon because they saw it in 360 in our app, or they have to, ride a gondola at the Venetian because they saw it in the app. One of the challenges, though, is the distribution of that content. There's a lot of manpower involved with us going to these shows, and we really want to have that one-to-one experience with consumers. Las Vegas, being the #1 meetings destination year over year, we know the power of one-to-one communication. But what Facebook provided us with its sort of 360 platform is the ability for mass distribution of this content. Now, a consumer anywhere in the world can, through their newsfeed, experience Las Vegas in 360, and it really helps us supplement sort of that direct meeting that we have with consumers around the content and get it into their feed and get, target that a little bit differently, knowing that consumers in international markets might want more of an outdoors experience, and consumers in LA may want to see more of a dining experience. We can get more targeted with the 360 video, similar to how we approach some of our other Facebook targeting and content.
Are you guys targeting specific audiences to certain 360 videos, or that's at least the goal and vision long term?
Yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing so far. I think one of the most interesting stats that we've seen is consumers have been 2 times more likely to share our 360 video content than some of our other content, because I think they're seeing it, and going back to that whole immersive and the experience that it creates, people can really envision themselves in that virtual reality experience, so they're sharing it with their friends, and the comments are always great. They're like, we have to go to Vegas, or do you remember when we did that? And I think that's one of the most powerful metrics that we can see when consumers are really saying, I need to get to Vegas because I saw this piece of content. So that's some of the exciting things that we're seeing from it.
Would you guys say that moving forward now, as you're thinking about your campaigns, that this is just yet another creative execution that should be a part of the mix? Are you shooting regular video in your digital campaigns and your video, and now 360, is it just another box that you'll be checking moving forward?
I'm not just checking boxes. What I'm trying to do is put together the most efficient medium mix. And so those that perform the best are those that we're going to, that we'll be moving forward with. We'll let Nick do the innovation, then you tell me how they work, and then I will then do them based on efficiencies. But that's the model. So we'll see. And my guess is that 360 across all the different markets, because that's where my efficiency happens, is when I can execute similar assets or create similar assets, will probably be one of the more efficient and effective ones that we'll be working on in the coming year.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen great efficiency with 360 video. I think for us, it's really about how far can we now take the technology and into what sort of areas or what verticals do we want to go. I mean, I mentioned Las Vegas being a meetings destination, so how do we use 360 to help sell meeting space? How do we use 360 to promote a new arena that just opened by getting on stage with a top tier performer? So I think for us, it's really where do we go next with 360, and how do we learn from the the results that we've seen through Facebook, through our one-to-one meetings with people, but really learning from that and building upon the success that we've had to date.
I think some other interesting things that people are doing is thinking about more than just 360, let's go around with the camera. They're doing things like split screen, so showing people one side of an experience versus another. Or they're doing things like choose your own adventure. Liberty Mutual has done something like this, where option A, choose this, option B, choose this, and then asking people to go deeper. Or the NBA dunk contest, where people are looking at almost like multiple screens with basketball stars dunking. So doing some interesting things beyond just let's drop the camera and do 360, I think it's also becoming another storytelling platform too.
I think just to add to that, I think one of the recent creative executions that we've done is, it was in a hotel room at the Wynn Las Vegas. The Wynn Las Vegas is a luxury hotel. It's very difficult to drop a 360 camera in there and really communicate that luxury element. So we created sort of a pop-up video where as you're going through the suite at the Wynn, how many thread count are those sheets? What type of lotion is that in the bathroom? What is the view outside of the window? What the room service options are. Making sure people really understand the luxury that may be difficult to communicate when you just drop a camera into the room. So that's sort of some of the executions that you can see. If you go download our Vegas VR app in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, that's a shameless plug to download our app.
I know that there's been a lot of changes at Facebook, so there's more opportunities now to be able to measure your media on any channel as you would previously on your more traditional digital channel. So Kelly, tell us a little bit about what those opportunities are now and ways that the advertisers and destinations can be thinking about social as just another extension of their efforts.
What we seek to do is we want to align to your business goals. We don't just want to say, well, you got this many clicks. We actually want to say, how did that impact your revenue as an organization? How did that drive intent to visit? And so we really want to align to your goals and not to ours. That's really the path forward where we see success on both sides. So when we think about measurement at Facebook and Instagram, it's really about people, which I think is very different than a lot of the industry. We have 1.7 billion people on Facebook. We are not operating in a cookie-based world. We're actually operating with identity, which means that we understand people across devices, across browsers, across apps, very possibly better than a lot of people in the industry. And so that can help brands deliver the right message at the right time and then measure the efficiency of those buys at the person level. So when we think about measurement, we bucket it into 3 categories. The first is reach. Am I reaching the right amount of people, the right number of times? The second is resonance. Am I helping to actually drive things like intent to visit, consideration? Am I shifting my brand awareness or my destination awareness? And then the third bucket is reaction, which for many tourism boards, you don't own the booking, but what you do own is standing on the podium at the end of the year and saying, this many people came to the United States or came to Vegas. So on the reach front, very simply within our user interface, Power Editor or Ads Manager, you can actually buy on a reach and frequency model and see in real time, I'm reaching X amount of my target audience, at Y frequency. We also work very closely with Nielsen, which we really believe is the gold standard for brand measurement. They've been in the TV world a long time, and we can run studies around reach with digital ad ratings where they tag all of your digital buy, they tag your Facebook and Instagram buy, and then you're able to understand our accuracy and being able to reach your demographic. Or total ad ratings where you are actually watermarking your television spots, tagging your Facebook and Instagram media, and you guys get back a report that says Facebook and Instagram were able to deliver X incremental reach to TV. So that's kind of the reach bucket. On the resonance side, you can either partner with Nielsen, with Datalogix, or with Facebook to do brand studies where we actually do holdout tests where we serve ads to part of the group, don't serve ads to others, and then survey people around things like, do you have intent to visit Vegas in the next year? Are you considering the United States as the next vacation for your family? Where you can then get metrics around those types of questions. Or do you even remember seeing this ad, which Nick spoke to earlier around ad recall? And then the final bucket is resonance. Our retail team has recently rolled out a product called Store Visits, where we're actually helping retailers actually track how many people are coming into brick and mortar stores as a result of seeing ads on Facebook and Instagram. And we're actually trying to work with that technology to help tourism boards understand how many people are actually visiting a destination based off of a media mix on Facebook or Instagram. So we're really excited about kind of that final bucket for the future. So that's how we think about measurement, and we're really hoping to help tourism boards move forward and kind of get away from things like just measuring likes and actually be tracking things like intent to visit, consideration, or even ad recall.
It's clear that advertising opportunities have continued to evolve on platforms like Facebook and Instagram. What's important is that we start to think about these social channels not within a singular channel, but truly as part of the overall integrated marketing mix. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next episode of Brands That Travel.